So in module 4, we will study decision tree, very popular, simplistic but very popular methods. And then when you advance in your study, you will learn about more complex application of decision tree where you combine multiple trees. But here, you will learn about simple decision tree algorithm. So in the context of classification for this class, but decision tree can be used for both classification and regression applications. Classification when you have a qualitative target where you have discrete outcomes, and when you have continuous value as a target variable, that would be a regression application. So you will study about understanding the difference between classification and regression methods, and how the underlying logic changes based on the target variable, and also how you apply decision tree method, or how you develop the algorithm, how you train a model using a decision tree algorithm. So the decision tree algorithm involves you have to construct the tree, right? It's a simple method that you can represent it in a tree-like structure called the decision tree diagram. And how do you go about creating that? How do you construct the tree, which involves selecting at each? So the underlying logic uses partitioning of the data at each iteration, and then so you have to select a variable based on information that it provides, and then you also, depending on the type of the variable, categorical or numerical values, then you have to select a threshold value to make the partitioning on. So that is, and then also to mitigate overfitting issue, there is a thing called pruning, pre-pruning or post-pruning, that is simplifying the final tree method by removing some branches. So that is the process that you go through to construct the tree. And for this class, then you would have to develop or train a decision tree algorithm or model using Python, similar to what you did in the previous modules for the other algorithm types. And obviously you'd have to provide interpretation and evaluation of the model. Okay, so this is what you learn. You would have 2 weeks for studying decision trees. And as such, you have different reading materials, the lecture notes that summarizes decision trees, tree presentation, the tree partitioning criteria, like I said, how you select variables at different points and the values in that variable as a threshold, and also some application issues in the pros and cons of decision trees. And also there is a chapter book that provides a bit more detail about decision tree and underlying mathematical logic. Debugging in the random forest, you will study this in a little bit. So as I indicated earlier in at the beginning, this is application of decision tree by combining many simple trees to create a more powerful models. Now, the way you combine the simple trees could be in different ways. Sometimes, like random forest, where the different decision trees are independent, or using a gradient boosting machine where the subsequent decision tree that you train are dependent in the sense that you focus on subsequent fitting of the decision tree, you focus on the areas of the problem where the previous decision tree was struggling. So in that sense, it's dependent. So you will study the bagging, random forest, and boosting. And like the previous ones, there are also YouTube video lecture that solidifies your study, your reading material on the use of decision tree and the logic. And then once you go through all the required materials, there is quiz 4 on decision tree and tree ensembles. random forest, in the logic of combining multiple methods. And then finally you will be working on your assignment 3. That means you would be fitting a decision tree model. You would select a data set from the recommended set, or you can use if you have a preferred data set, and then go through the process of fitting a decision tree, parameters tuning, and evaluation, and then all your findings. You'll be writing a report summarizing your findings. Okay, so module 4, you will be learning decision tree for 2 weeks. You have 2 weeks to complete this module. Okay, thank you.